It was an absolutely monster week in the markets, and I want to take a look at the most popular stocks and see if any of them are worth your money or mine. And I am a professional investor competing in the US Investing Championship with verified results, and I'd love to show you some of my trades as well as we go through this. So, what happened this week, right? So, if we put this on the 1 week performance, we can see where money moved around, right? It came out of the industrial sector, it came out of healthcare, and it very, very clearly went to places like Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, Texas Instruments, these tech stocks right here, and the consumer cyclical stock right there, that retail sales right there, both of those areas really got the majority of where money went this week. And if we look at the market, it continues to push higher. I don't know why there's so many people saying it can't go any higher. It has to come down. I saw some joker today say the absolute top of the QQQs of the NASDAQ is in. Bro, why would you get in the way of this? The number one thing you need to remember is never get in front of the trend train, because it will run you the hell right over if you try and do that. Now, let's look at some of these stocks. I pulled up the list of the volume leaders, as well as the one of my favorite places to go, which is Ape Wisdom, which shows the Wall Street bets and what they're looking at. And so first, let's start with the market. We still have a bullish trend on the market. We still have a buy signal on the market, and the market still has bullish breadth, but that bullish breadth is starting to wane. Now, the way that we measure breadth is the number of stocks with buy signals versus sell signals. And by Monday, it's very likely that we're actually going to have bearish breadth, meaning more sell signals than buy signals. So you know what? Maybe the top is in. I don't know. But I do know one thing. I'm not going to get in the way of these trends, because some of these stocks have absolutely powerful trends. So let's start with AMD. AMD, there are so many people who love to talk about how great AMD is. And look at the sentiment of this. It's unbelievable. This is showing the number of news stories and how many positive ones versus negative ones. The positive ones are off the charts. Right? We can look over here and we can see some of these headlines. The chip stock rally that broke history, Intel's post-earnings rally, what to watch with Nvidia, AMD, and Broadcom, an upgrade to AMD, KGI's Intel rally, AMD and Tesla, which CPU companies dominated 2026, right? A lot of really, really positive news stories. And if you look over here, we've got the full slingshot set up. We have a bullish market trend, a bullish market signal, and a bullish market breadth. In this sector, we have bullish fear and greed, and we have bullish breadth. And not all the time does this happen. In fact, I saw a comment the other day. I was like, hey, are you the channel that was dogging on AMD last year? Yeah, not all stocks go up. In fact, all stocks are bad, but every once in a while they act right. And this is when they're acting right. When the stock has a big, beautiful trend, the 10 over 20 price over 50 is what we call our outlier trend template. It got the buy signal on March 26th. Fear and greed continues to rise, and there's no outlier blocks at this point. Let's actually go to the AMD chart, and I want to look at it real quick because the buy signal came on March 26th. So let's go mark where that was on March 26th. Right here. You can see just how much it's run since that buy point, right? So if we took the buy signal at the close of this candle to today, AMD is up 71%. Unbelievable, huge move here. So here's the thing. Meme stocks are becoming the norm again. We're going to talk about Avis here in a couple of minutes. Could AMD be a meme stock? I know that AMD bros are about to lose their minds in the comments. This isn't a meme stock. This is the future of technology, et cetera, et cetera. And it just very well might be. But 71% in 29 days definitely feels very meme stocky. And that's okay, because you can make a ton of money on meme stocks on the way up. All right, what about the next stock on the list over here? What about Intel? Intel is a very similar situation to AMD. In fact, lots of very positive news on Intel. Intel rally too hot. Intel delivers a strong AI-fueled outlook. Nvidia replaced Intel in the Dow. Today, Intel earnings are lifting Nvidia. Now, I own Nvidia, and we're going to be talking about Nvidia in just a few minutes. In fact, I own Nvidia for free. Oh my gosh. If you could have seen how excited I was to roll my option trades so many times that I have free trades on in Nvidia, you've got to subscribe. That way you don't miss out, because all of my trades that I'm taking in the US Investing Championship, I'm doing live here on YouTube. So subscribe while you can so you don't miss out. All right, so let's go back to Intel. We got the full trend template over here. We got the full slingshot. And we got the buy signal on April 6th on Intel. Let's go look at Intel real quick. INTC. Intel, April 6th was right. Oh, right there. I already marked it. Okay, cool. How much has it gone up since then? Intel has gone up by, come on, clickies. There we go. Gone up by 63% in the span of 17 days. So like AMD, huge moves, very, very, very big moves. And here's the thing. Don't try and be the hero that shorts these. Don't try and be the guy that says, this is the top. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And if you want to start betting against a big, beautiful trend like this, just take your money out in the backyard, put it in a metal trash can just to be safe, get a lighter and some lighter fluid and set it on fire, because it can be absolutely devastating if you try to get in front of these type of trends. The trend is your friend, okay? Roll with that trend until it bends. Don't try to be the hero to find the top or the bottom. So Intel still looks really, really sharp. All right, let's look over here. We've got Nvidia next on the board. Nvidia, AI meets quantum, best pick and shovel picks. Bet on these 5 low leverage stocks. Nvidia stock heads for the first record close in 6 months. The chip stock rally that broke history. Right, sounds good. Nvidia still also has everything lined up with the market, the sector, the stock. It looks great. And like I said earlier, I actually own Nvidia. I bought it on April 9th, and it's been on a huge run since then, a big power bar that came through on Friday. These are all of my exact trades. Every single one of these has been performed live on YouTube, and it's up to you to actually pay attention to a professional investor at work. I'm doing this for free on YouTube. You don't want to miss out. Point being, I've actually rolled this enough times. I haven't updated this for my Friday roll yet, where I have a completely risk-free trade in Nvidia. I bought it originally. I bought the 175 calls for $17.95, and I've rolled those calls multiple times all the way up. And by doing so, I've taken a credit each time, and I've taken a credit greater than $17.95. So I have guaranteed gains on Nvidia, no matter what happens. No matter what happens. Isn't that cool? So I teach that every single day here on YouTube. You definitely want to subscribe so you don't miss out. But Nvidia looks super sharp, and I'm not getting out of my position anytime soon. All right, what do we got on here next? Avis, what a big, crazy stock this week, right? This is what a meme stock looks like. Could AMD do something like this? I know a lot of AMD bros would be super, super stoked to see that. And then we got the buy signal on March 25th. Now, when something like this happens, when a big, crazy move like this happens, so many people want to be the hero and say, oh, it can't go up any higher. But remember, at each point in time, we can't see into the future. So let's say we got the replay right here. Let's say that we're watching this, right? We're in car and things are going great. We got that buy signal and it's starting to pop off. You're like, all right, this is awesome. Here's one of those great opportunities to say, I'm not going to get out of the stock until it tells me it's not working. And then, okay, all right, yeah, let's let this bad boy go, right? We've gone from 123 to 170, a huge move already. And then this is where the people start saying it can't go any higher. There's no possible way that this stock can go any higher. It just went from, in fact, let's mark on the chart real quick. It just went from 120 up to 212. Let's call it 220. There's no way it could go up $100 a share. And then Carr says, hold my beer. Watch this. Watch this. And then it continues to roll higher and higher and higher. And then you look at it on this day and you're like, oh my gosh, it went from 120 to 411. I got to start shorting it right here. I got to start shorting it right here. Or maybe you even started selling calls against it. Oh my gosh, I used to be that guy who would sell calls when something would go up like this, and I would get absolutely monkey hammered in my account. And then you know what happened? It keeps going. It just can't stop. And then the YouTube gurus come out and they're like, this is the easiest short of all time. Even though they were saying that all the way back at 188, this is the easiest short of all time. And they're getting margin calls, right? Because they're getting absolutely destroyed. And then what happens next? Just like that. That right there was your sell signal. When you see the big rally like this and you can ride it all the way up and it breaks, that's your sell signal. That right there is the sell signal right here. So yeah, huge, crazy moves on Avis this week. And if you played it, boy, I hope you made that money. I hope you took that money while you did, because it's come all the way back down almost to where it started at 120 on that buy signal. Let's go to the next one here on the Ape Wisdom. They always know the best. What about, we did car. What about Amazon, Microsoft. That's the next one on the board here. Microsoft has quite a lot of negative news. And in fact, Microsoft looked really bad for a while, like really, really bad. This looked like the market cycle to me. And if you know the market cycle, there's stage 1, which is consolidation. 2 is the big, beautiful uptrend. 3 is where it starts to go sideways. The moving averages cross around. 4 is the big, scary, nasty move back down. And it bottomed, and it just got a buy signal a couple days ago. You got the full slingshot over here. And let's zoom in on Microsoft. In fact, let's go to the Microsoft chart. All right, let's zoom out just a smidge, and you can see that's what the market cycle looks like. Now, it hit a really strong bottom and is starting to come back up. And this is why I like to say all stocks are bad, but every once in a while they act right. And on April 16th, it got a buy signal and started acting right. So be sure to watch Microsoft, but keep in mind, come on, my clickies are not working right today. There we go. But be aware, we do have earnings coming up. And speaking of earnings, a lot of earnings are going to be coming out this week. I will not trade into earnings. It doesn't matter how much money I've made in the stock. It doesn't matter if I'm up or if I'm down. When earnings come, it is a huge amount of risk. It's associated with the earnings announcement. And of course, it can pop up, but just as likely as it can pop up, it can be like Netflix and get monkey hammered back down like 10% in a day and then start a brand new downtrend after that point. So how about we just not have that risk on? It's totally up to you, right? But you got some big names this week like Coca-Cola, you got Visa, you've got Ford. Oh boy, SoFi. You know, that's the future of finance right there. We've got ConocoPhillips, we've got Apple, we've got a lot of huge names coming out this week. So there could be a lot of volatility that comes in the next few days. That's for dang sure. All right, let's go to Microsoft. It still has the full slingshot right here. Just be careful on Microsoft running into earnings. How about Micron? Let's take a look at the headlines on this. One stock to rule them all. One AI stock outpacing Nvidia and Palantir. The chip stock rally that broke history. 2 AI bottleneck stocks. Why Micron popped today. Fibonacci princess. Oh, give me a break with the Fibonacci's. That's Fibonacci's and patterns are basically star charts and horoscopes for men. Why RAM is so expensive. Micron, the AI-driven structural revaluation unlocks further upside. Either way, lots and lots of bullish news stories coming out on Micron. And we have the full slingshot here. Buy signals in place, getting more greedy. The sector's getting more greedy. Sector breadth is still really bullish. Let's go look at the Micron. Since the buy signal came through on April 13th. Let me see where that was. Micron, April 13th. Oh, I got to turn off replay real quick. Hold tight. Okay, let me clear all my notes. Okay. April 13th was right here, and it's been running. Micron right there, up 16% in a few days. Just in a few days, it's up 16%. Now, I am using OVTLYR, and you can see OVTLYR. You go to OVTLYR.com, pick up a annual pass for only 82 cents a day. Or listen, if you don't believe me, watch all of our YouTube videos, and I'll show you step by step how it's done. Let's go to Tesla. Tesla is still on the board. We already had Tesla earnings. That's right. But that was number 10 on Wall Street Bets, and it was number, I don't know, one of the first stand up here on the all US exchange volume leaders for bar chart. Let's look at Tesla here. Buy signal came through. It's still sitting on everything you'd want to see, except it turned around. And this is why I say, doesn't matter how great a stock it is, doesn't matter how fantastic it is, earnings can absolutely bite you in the backside. Now, it's only down 3% since earnings. Not a huge move right there. An outlier still hasn't flipped that to a sell signal just yet. So maybe now's an opportunity if you're looking to get into Tesla where you can pick it up at a little discount. Just be aware, we don't quite have the bullish trend in place. The 10 needs to be over the 20 and price over the 50 to make it work. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to go to the moon every time that happens. But every time it goes to the moon, it starts that way, right? And this is it in reverse here. The 10 under the 20, price under the 50. You can see just how far it fell. And then 10 over the 20, price over the 50, you can see just how far it ran. So remember that when you're looking at your charts. All right, let's go to the next stock here. Amazon, buy signal came through on April 9th. You got the full slingshot over here. Amazon, look at the chart on April 9th. Amazon, whoa. This stock's on fire. Way more than I expected. From the bottom of that candle up to here, 17% in the span of a couple days. Again, running up into earnings. This is actually one of my all-time favorite trades, is when you've got earnings coming up and you can buy the stock and run it up into earnings, buy the rumor, sell the news. I've done that in Google. I've been running Google up here so far. Google's looking great for me. It does have earnings next week as well on Wednesday. Where's that at? Google on Wednesday. You got Microsoft, Alphabet. Oh, Alphabet right there. Yeah, it's Google. It's always going to be Google. It's never Alphabet going to be, or it's never going to be Alphabet to me. Just like Twitter will always be Twitter. X is a stupid name. Okay. Let's be honest here. Nobody's going to call it X. It should be Twitter forever. But yeah, to that point, you've got earnings coming up on Amazon. Just be aware. It looks great, but it can turn around just that fast. So listen, this was a really, really great week on the market. Don't try and ever get ahead of what the market's doing. I want you to listen to the market instead of trying to tell the market what it needs to do. Just listen to what it's doing, and you can go along with those trends, and you can make generational wealth in the process once you understand how it's done. Now, listen, like I say, I do my trades live on YouTube every single day. You want to subscribe so you can follow along. And if you're ready to save time, make money, start winning with less risk, head to outlier.com and click one of these two videos. We'll talk soon.